All right. Blessings and good morning. Oh, it's good to see you, Candace and Tina and Alan and Anna.
Morning, party people.
And John. Awesome. Let's take a moment to settle in and tap into intention. Yeah. So maybe, just letting your awareness descend. Start to sense your skin, what it feels like to inhabit your body a little bit more. This is the only way we can really touch into how we're doing, how we are, how it is for us in this moment. As we come into community and we sense this as our time, as your time to receive. Whatever you're noticing in your heart, whatever your energy level is like, kind of sensing it folding into your practice. And then noticing what your intention is, what it is that you're most wanting to feel or receive. Let it be fresh, the inquiry. Notice how the response arises. As we blink our eyes open, we'll, just keeping the gaze in the body, so to speak, and orienting to your space. And then we'll orient to each other. Yeah, hi. Hello again. Let me know what your intention is. I see, Candace, you have sit in energy, flow, and peace. Yeah, who else? Just an intention. Oh, right, Tina. We can probably all relate to this. I've forgotten how awesome it is to come into community, especially when I'm not up for it. Yeah, right. Assurance and peace. Let me see who this is. Anna, yes. And Ruth, to be more in my body. Good. It's like as we enter into this Dharma talk, and then we'll sit together. The terrain, the terrain of the body is, a lot of, I in my practice, it's like what I'm looking for out there has a home in here. And I just haven't connected to it, or there's, it's always the backward step. And that's why the Buddha emphasized the body so much, which we can forget, especially in Buddhist practice, but, in other practices too, where we're so used to being in our heads and perceiving through the head center primarily. It's like this gets left behind. And even in meditation practice, we can try to, really get caught up in analysis and stilling the mind, or we can get really caught up in, say, in mindfulness practice, sometimes we can get caught up in just naming phenomena, but not actually experiencing what's moving through. So let's dive in. Let me pull up my notes. The name of this Dharma talk is Mapping Out Our Somatic Descent to True Peace. To true peace, like I said, what we've been looking for, the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, have always maybe, like we just do the experiment. We're like, wow, what if awareness that I wake up in my body, that there's an actual body awareness that we call, body mind, that is embedded with what we've been wanting, what we've been after, what we've been looking for. And so Suzuki Roshi said that to stop your mind does not mean to stop the activities of mind. It means your mind pervades your whole body. And so in this, he's introducing this body mind that we talk about just like I'll say it too, but like today we're really going to sense what we mean when we say body mind. To stop your mind does not mean to stop the activities of mind. He's making a distinction between mind and activities of mind, pointing to the fact that we often get caught up in the activities of the mind and that's mind. But thinking, for example, is just one of many activities of mind. And so, it means the mind, this awareness pervades your whole body. And the terrain of our bodies, our soma, our bones and blood and what makes up the physical body, this terrain of the body is mysterious, it's wordless, and it's full of sensation and feeling. And it does have, when we acquaint ourselves more with this aspect of being, it opens us up to much deeper capacities to enjoy our lives, which is like, isn't that why you're here? When you really get down to it. This is called Don't Hesitate by Mary Oliver. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give in to it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise and not very often kind, and much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps this is its way of fighting back, that sometimes something happens better than all the riches or power in the world. It could be anything, but very likely you notice it in the instant when love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb. We don't get to enjoy only good feelings without also being open to what we call, more like whatever bad feelings or uncomfortable feelings. Joy can be uncomfortable too for some folks. Our practice is opening to the awareness that is already present within the body. Gil Fonsdale had mentioned this in a piece that I read to prepare for this. And I loved that, this remembering that we're opening to this awareness that's already here, it's already present within. And the Buddha said, everything we need to know can be found inside this fathom long body. Everything we need to know can be found inside this fathom long body. This is from Scott Tusa. We begin to see that these feelings don't just arise in the body, they get stored there. Like an attic that accumulates dust and cobwebs when ignored, our body mind of sensations, feeling, memories, and emotions can clutter, resulting in a challenging emotional life. So just as our corporal body suffers corporeal body suffers when we don't take proper care of it. So too does our body mind. Yet we are often not taught how to tend to our emotional body minds. So we are unfortunately left with habits of numbing, avoiding, and suppressing the felt experiences that arise within our bodies. This becomes an even bigger problem when we have unresolved trauma or severe emotional injury. And it's good to just take a moment here for us all and for you to just kind of tap into your body now and kind of sense what's landing. So awareness of feelings brings them to the surface. So there's, when you first start, say practicing meditation, sometimes it can feel like you're opening Pandora's box and we get in trouble. I think this happens at various stages throughout our practice. Pandora's box is opening. It's just a new one, like, just keeps getting, just this is our practice. And as it should be, awareness, oh, there's Phoenix, awareness of feelings brings them to the surface. So you're not doing anything wrong in your practice. You're not, failing in any way. And in this regard, it's actually that's how the healing happens, right? Is like what's been held down needs to come to the surface. And so we have this innate capacity to digest these stored feelings. I love Thomas Keating actually has a little book. It's called The Human Condition. And it's such a wonderful excavation of this. He talks about the emotional body unwinding and it being like an excavation, and he talks about how ancient civilizations, what would happen is we just built on top of them. So when you're clearing, when you're digging through one, right, you get what's underneath. And he compares that to this purification process that happens when we bring our awareness from so much out there in here. We start to be willing and open to feeling. Usually what happens is we're fighting them. So they might come to awareness, but then we gum up the works there. We might fight them, right? I'll give you an example of this. This keeps them frozen and stuck in place. We keep these things frozen by thinking about it instead of feeling it. And so, this is from Gil Fonsdale. He's a great teacher. He does a morning sit, like every morning, I think. Via Zoom, during my early Vipassana practice in Thailand, Ajahn Buddhadasa said at the opening of a 10-day retreat, I love this, do not do anything that takes you out of your body. When I remembered this, for me, puzzling instruction, I began to realize how often my center of attention and gravity was projected in front of me. The more I settled into my body, the more sensitive I became to ever subtler movements away from that center due to ever subtler attachments and aversions of the mind. Gradually, I learned that mindfulness of the body is one of the best windows I have into my inner life. Mindfulness of the body can also greatly facilitate our capacity for being present for painful or overwhelming emotions by helping us recognize the body as the container for those emotions. Buddhist psychology claims that emotions are always embodied and so can be felt in the body. Sometimes fear involves a tightening of the stomach, anger, a heated face, joy, a tingling or warmth in the chest, and restlessness and energy coursing through the arms. By focusing on the bodily sensations produced by these emotions, it becomes easier to remain present for them and allow mindfulness to reveal their deeper nature. You might even sense that just in this, just through like listening and you're remembering something here. Maybe the relationship that you were having that you didn't know you were having to your feeling terrain was more aversive, right? So just sensing that it's not about changing, like even now, how you feel. It's actually about relating to it differently and then sensing what happens when we do that. Here, I wanted to share the story with you that's related to this. And it was a client of mine. She had these like pervasive, obsessive thoughts about her adult children. So, and her primary intention was for peace, which was why she hired me. But it seemed impossible to her because her kids were always needing her to bail them out of their problems, or they were blaming her for not being a good mom. Like in the past or present, there was always like this drama around the children. I get it. I mean, it's like, I know this is like, right, listening to this, like you're listening, you can more clearly discern her actual block to peace, which was like really intense codependency, which, you know, I understand that terrain well because of my history. And so her actual block to peace was hinging her peace, her okayness on her children's okayness. Remember, her kids are grown. It's like when your kids are little, you are responsible, right? Like, and then, you know, it depends too, when, you know, if your kids and people like, you know, if they need you for certain things and, you know, of course, right? But these kids were, meaning, you know, I don't know, like if your adult child is sick or something like that, and you come in and you care for them in that way. There's nothing wrong with caring about our kids who are grown. But she was really waiting. These kids didn't need her to take care of themselves anymore. They were all perfectly capable of that. They had these deeply entrenched patterns around, you know, going to mom to bail them out, or going to mom to complain or blame her. And it was, I mean, she was riddled with anxiety. And my work and our work together was in like, and it was, you know, it's a gradual process, but to get somebody who's really caught in their head center as their primary refuge, and it can take some time to just, you know, what are you feeling around this issue with this person? I want you to tune into your body and like sense what feelings this is bringing up for you. And something like that, like, you know, I know in my own work, I may not have been able to say, oh, I feel really sad, but I could say, I feel tightness in my throat and a heaviness in my chest. I could say that, like we, you know, and she could too. So that was our gateway in, with sensations, and then learning to kind of stay with them. And then uncovering, you know, she was scared and she was pissed. And she had so much mistrust, and these feelings were unnoticed, and they were bypassed, and they were ignored, and they were exchanged over and over again for complaining. You know, these people, you're this person, I am too sometimes, right? Rather than really feeling what's happening for us, you know, we might get into like knee-jerk response of just complaining about it, or you know, or just getting involved in that continual battle to like in this case, make her kids be who she needed them to be, she thought, to have peace. And that, that's impossible. It's impossible, to, you'll never get it in that way, right? Someone's always going to be, there's always going to be imperfections with our kids. So to be able to digest feelings, we need to exchange evaluation for care. Rather than judging our intense emotional reactions, we can say yes. Another way I like is Tarbrock talks a lot about saying yes. And I think another way that's helpful of thinking about this is, question like, what would it be like? And you can try this on right now with whatever you're feeling. What would it be like to love myself for feeling this way? Or to love myself for hating that I feel this way? This is from Jack Kerouac. The neck bone's connected to the head bone. The head bone's connected to the angel bone. The angel bone's connected to the God bone. Jack Kerouac, another fellow Buddhist Catholic alcoholic, but he didn't get sober. Love his writing. I'm just looking to see anything else before we start our sit together. I wanted to return just briefly to this Gil Fonsdale shared this from his teacher. Do not do anything that takes you out of your body. And I like to think about, like, when you take refuge, say it's raining outside and you take refuge under an umbrella. There's a sense that there's something there that's containing the experience. There's something there that's going to help you navigate, say the rain, for example, or, maybe not get wet or get less wet. And the body being a refuge of that kind. Oftentimes, because the mind is so afraid of what the body feels. And again, that's activity of the thinking mind. What we actually usually notice when we experience the body is that it's nothing like what the mind is afraid of. And that by starting to inhabit the body more, we offset the abundance of energy that's typically going to thought streams, right? Because we're so often trying to figure out life and get out of, we're so often trying to get out through the head center. And it's actually the refuge of the body is one that we can continually remember. Do not do anything that takes you out of your body. One of my teacher's first instructions to me, and my primary teacher, be in your body. Be in your body. It was like, that was it. Be in your body. And it's a deep teaching because the gravitational pull of thinking and imagining and remembering, it's not about that not arising, right? It's not about that not arising. To stop your mind does not mean to stop the activities of mind. It means your mind pervades your whole body. So we're not at war with the images and the impressions that arise. We recognize that as being an activity, like that's part of the mind. And when we stop judging it, evaluating it, and we replace that with kind of care and curiosity, I like this way of tending to, like we're tending to our inner experience when we sit in meditation. This inner experience is always happening, but it's rarely tended to. Rarely. Hopefully when we're, if we're in session, like a good therapist, a good coach, a good teacher, or whatever, can really teach us to tend to our inner experience because we weren't taught it, right? And so, and what I, and we're all really good at it. We're all really good at it, meaning we all have this capacity to awaken the wisdom of awareness that lives in the body that's often just dormant. So let's go ahead and sit together. I always like to mention here that these talks and meditations are freely offered, but your donation makes a huge difference. And thank you. Thank you for your continued donations. And you can PayPal me, Zelle me, Venmo me. I'll leave a link in the notes of the video if you're watching this on the replay, so that you can do that. You want your body for this one to be comfortable. We always emphasize that when we sit together in our Sangha. I really want you to be especially tuned into that today. So we keep the body in mind, and we start to keep it at the center a little bit more, recognizing that our meditation practice is not leaving the body behind at all, but we're bringing the body with us. And we'll just make direct contact with our body. The feeling of your butt against your seat. The feeling of your feet on the floor. Getting a sense of how it is to be a little more embodied. Right now, what's that like in your practice? The breath and the felt sense of our breathing. You might sense how the inhale feels across the front axis of your body, and how the exhale feels. Not just noticing the way the breath feels, but tending to it. Letting this kind of mindfulness of breathing be at the forefront of our practice. We'll open it up to more. We'll ring the bell and we'll sit together in silence, tending to the breath for some minutes. Opening up awareness, embodied awareness to other sensations. That embodied awareness just naturally notices as we're just sitting here with our experience, tending to our inner landscape. My awareness is drawn towards a itch on my knee. And you just kind of stay with it and notice if it gets bigger or smaller or changes. Or if awareness goes somewhere else, like it just did to my low back. So just allowing awareness to dance inside the body. You can use your felt sense of breath as something to touch into if you find that you've left your body. Sense what it's like to relax with what awareness is noticing. Just soften with it. If what's being noticed in the body is unpleasant, practicing bringing care, friendliness to what's being noticed. If what's being noticed is pleasant, what's it like to savor? The sensations will come and go, whether you like them or not. Or sensing what it's like to maybe relate to them differently as they're passing through. Or sometimes meeting a sensation with, it's okay to feel this way. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate, give into it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise and not very often kind, and much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps this is its way of fighting back, that sometimes something happens better than all the riches or power in the world. Could be anything, but very likely you notice it in the instant when love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb. Bring a hand to our heart. Practice just palm down on the chest. I'll chant the blessings of metta as we come to a landing place. Feel free to chant with me or just listen. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. And just letting yourself orient again. And as we land together, I just have a few things to mention. Would love to hear from you. Any takeaways from our sit together? That helps me. Just whatever you're taking away, whatever ahas you had or anything really, you can put in the chat. I have my in-person, the Art of Inner Friendliness meditation retreat. It's a day long, coming up September 17th. And it's in person if you would like to join me for that. The link is in my Instagram bio, and I believe it was at the bottom of the email that we sent yesterday. It'll be at the bottom of the encore when we send it out. So you can sign up that way. And invite a friend. Invite a friend. Anna, we want to escape through our head. Yeah, we want to. Yeah. It's a pull, man. It's a pull. That's why there's that instruction to let nothing take you out of your body. Mm-hmm. May you be in your body today. May we all be in our bodies a little bit more than we would have been if we didn't come today. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brilliant as usual. It's amazing what's illuminated, when we actually practice listening to ourselves. Yeah. Good. All right. And I am teaching yoga on Friday at 4:30. So good to see you, Alan and Anna and John and Ruth and Tina. Be well. I'll be back next week. And you can take yourself off mute. Mwah.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Good to see you, John.